Hi everyone, my name is John Corbett, or as a lot of people know me, Corbettmaths, and in this video I want to do a bit of an update as to the new resources that have been added to the website since my last update video. So my last update video was at the end of November 2024, so it's been about 10 months since that last video. So loads of new resources have been added to the website. In this video I want to go through some of those. Also I want to give a bit of an idea as to where I'm going next with the website, and also just want to say thank you. So first of all, thank you. Thank you to all the students who use the website, whether it's the video tutorials, the 5-a-days, the practice questions, the revision cards, the 100 days to go videos and 100 days to go books. All those resources I hope are useful for you for your mathematical studies. If you're a teacher, I hope that the practice questions, the textbook exercises, the videos, the revision cards and so on are useful as well. And if you're a parent and use the website to support your child, I really hope it's been useful as well. I just want to say thank you very much for all the support. It's lovely to get messages from students, from teachers and parents. And we regularly get those where teachers and parents and students get in touch to say, thanks, I find the resources useful because of, and so on. And it's just really fantastic to hear that they're useful. And that's why I want to keep on working hard to make sure the website carries on supporting you as a student, as a teacher, and as a parent. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate that. And also, I just want to say thank you to the people that have supported the website by buying the revision cards. So the website is obviously a 3D accessible website, and it's always going to stay 3D accessible. So feel free to link it in your schemes of works and so on. So it's going to stay free. But we do rely on the people supporting the website through buying the revision cards, the 100 days to go books, the 5-a-day books, and so on. And that's how I can work on the website and carry on to improve it for you. So in terms of the revision cards, the higher and foundation revision cards are really, really useful. And lots of the updates that we have done over the last 10 months actually go into these as well. So they're constantly improving and getting better. So if you bought these a few years ago, if you scan them now, you'll see that there's even more resources there and they're even better. So these are amazing resources. They're very, very popular. And if you buy those to help support the website as a teacher, if you buy them for your classes or even just offer them as revision guides and you can get discounts as a teacher and stuff as well, that's useful as well. The 5-a-day books are fantastic in terms of daily maths practice, that little and often approach. And we've got the 5 levels of difficulty going from numeracy, foundation, foundation plus, higher and higher plus, and they're fantastic resources as well. And also the brand new 100 days to go books. So it's actually a good place to start in terms of progress because these revision books came out in the last 10 months and these 100 days to go revision books are fantastic in terms of helping students preparing for upcoming GCSE exams. And there's the GCSE Foundation 100 Days to Go book, and there's the GCSE Higher 100 Days to Go book. And this book has daily revision sessions for the 100 days to go leading up to the GCSE Maths exams. They can be bought at any time and you can just work through them at your own pace. And they're just a fantastic resource. That's one of the things that we added to the website over the last 10 months. There was the 100 Days to Go videos, but I actually turned it into a book and they've been really popular and it's a fantastic way to support your students or if you're a parent supporting your child with their revision. So the 100 Days to Go revision books are something that we've added to the website over the last year, over the last 10 months, and it's just one of the exciting projects that we've worked on, and I really hope that you and your students have found them beneficial. And we've heard lots of great feedback from parents and students after the GCSE Maths exam saying that they've really, really supported. So that's one of the new projects or new resources that we added to the website. That's actually one of the physical resources that you can choose to order, but there's obviously the digital resources there as well. So I really hope you find those 100 Days to Go revision resources useful. Okay, so that's one of the new things that we've been working on over the last 10 months. Okay, next project. This is one of the projects that have been going on for the last couple of years, the practice questions. And I've been working hard to update the practice questions. I started making the practice questions in 2012, 2013, 2014, and I made booklets for every single topic. We've got those booklets of questions, such as this one on probability, where there's 25 GCSE style questions that I created based on probability. So I made those booklets back in 2012, 13, 14, and obviously some new ones added on. And then what I've been doing over the last couple of years is I've been updating those. I wanted to add in lots of new questions for each of them. So I wanted to add to the questions by adding in new questions. I wanted to update existing ones. So for instance, if there was a question where the context included things such as DVDs, I wanted to change that because over the last 10 years, the context maybe need a bit of updating. I've also updated a lot of diagrams and so on. So those booklets have been having a major overhaul. And as well as that, I've actually been adding in the solutions as well, the video solutions. So for example, over the last 10 months, I've worked on the probability booklet. And that booklet on probability had 25 questions originally and just the answers. Whereas over the last 10 months, I've updated that booklet. And now instead of having 25 questions, it's now got 45 questions. So there's 20 brand new questions there on probability. As well as the answers, I've also added in video solutions. So if your students are stuck on a particular question and they need support, rather than waiting a day or two to get your support in a lesson or looking at the mark scheme and hopefully figuring out from mark scheme, there's actually a video of me explaining every single one of those questions. So I really wanted to support the students to the best of my ability and being able to explain how, if I've created the question, how I've intended it perhaps to be solved. And if there's a range of different ways to solve it, I've gone through those as well. And just to also mention, if you've got the revision cards and you've scanned the probability revision card for the practice questions, you'll now get that updated booklet. So you'll have those 45 questions with the video solutions as well. So those revision cards are improving as well. So I've been updating the practice questions, and over the last 10 months, I've worked really hard on that. So over the last 10 months, I've updated about 40 to 45 of those booklets. I've added on 5 brand new booklets for topics that didn't have sets of practice questions before. And also I've added the video solutions to 80 more of those topics. So 80 of those topics, which maybe didn't have the video solutions, now have the video solutions as well. And I think in total, there's been about 400 or 500 brand new questions added to the website over the last 10 months, but also 55 hours worth of video solutions. So it's 55 hours worth of explanations on all of those questions. So they'll be really, really useful for you as well. So I'm just going to go through now and list those topics. Okay, so let's start off with the brand new booklets. So the brand new booklets are on comparing distributions, on misleading graphs, so questions where you've got misleading graphs, or you've perhaps got to criticize graphs. Real life linear graphs, so those straight line graphs in real life situations, perhaps where you've got to interpret the gradient and the y-intercept and so on for that real life situation. The surface area of a prism. So I had surface area of cuboids and cones and cylinders and so on, but I've done a mixture of prisms. That's a brand new booklet. And also another money topic. I've been working on money topics, and I've added on another booklet on bills and meters. So bills and reading meters, such as electricity meters and gas meters and things like that. So they're the 5 brand new booklets that I've added. I've also updated the following. So factorizing expressions by taking out brackets, bills and meters, rates of change, area under a graph, volume of a prism, views, timetables, so bus timetables and things like that, surface area of cylinders, surface area of cones, surface area of prisms, surface area of L-shaped prisms, surface area of cuboids, surds, speed, the nth term, sensible estimates, reading scales, scales and maps, drawn quadratic graphs, independent events, relative frequency, conditional probability, probability, compound interest, square numbers, product of primes, the LCM and the HCF, factors, multiples and primes, cube numbers, the gradient, equation of a line, graphical inequalities, negative indices, so focus on those GCSE foundation questions where it's just the negative indices. Also then fractional and negative indices, reading pie charts, drawn pie charts, increasing by a fraction, fractions, and equations and solving equations where you've got fractions involved. So I've updated all those booklets. So for instance, if we look at the surge booklets, I added in 17 brand new questions into that booklet. So there's been a lot of new questions added into all of those booklets. And then in terms of the video solutions, I've added video solutions to comparing distributions, constructing angles, constructions, loci, the distance between 2 points, adding and subtracting decimals, decimals where we're multiplying and dividing them, the division booklet, enlargements and using the Ray method, solving equations, equations involving fractions, advanced equations involving fractions, so where you're doing algebraic fractions in those equations, forming equations, factorizing quadratics, fractions, so simplifying fractions, equivalent fractions, and so on, misleading graphs, drawn pie charts, real life graphs, indices, where you've got those fractional negative indices, just the negative indices, inequalities, graphical inequalities, drawn linear graphs, equation of a line, gradient, best buys, cube numbers, estimation, factors, multiples and primes, the lowest common multiple, highest common factor, product of primes, square numbers. This list goes on a wee bit. Percentage change, percentage of amounts, percentage using calculators, so working out percentages questions where you've got a calculator, expressing as a percentage, multipliers, probability, conditional probability, relative frequency, independent events, listing outcomes, reflections, stratified sampling, using samples, scales and maps, reading scales, sensible estimates, the nth term, equations of motion, or those kinematics formulae, standard form, surds, surface area of a cuboid, the surface area of an L-shaped prism, the surface area of prisms, the surface area of a cone, timetables, triangles and whether triangles can exist based on the lengths of their sides, trig graphs, reciprocal graphs, views, volume of a prism, volume of a pyramid, volume of a frustum, the equation of a tangent to a circle, arithmetic progressions, geometric progressions, set notation, product rule for counting, density, pressure, bills, and factorizing brackets. So for all of those topics, I've added in the video solutions to the practice questions. So for instance, on stratified sampling, there's a 29-minute video where I've gone through the solutions to each of the questions And if you're watching it on YouTube, there'll be bookmarks or chapters. So you can just go jump to question number 4 or jump to question number 7. You can look to just the question that you want help with. If you are, for instance, looking at trig graphs, there's a 25-minute video there where I go through the video solutions. So I've added in loads of new resources in terms of the practice questions. I've updated lots of the existing ones. I've added in the video solutions, and I've made new booklets as well. That's what I've been working on over the last 10 months, those 100 days to go books, as well as updating the practice questions. So I really hope those resources are useful for you or your students. So that's what I've been adding on over the last 10 months. I've also added on some video tutorials for some GCSE further maths topics, and that's something I'm going to be working on a lot in the future. So those and A-level and things like that. Okay, so what's next? So I'm close to finishing off updating these practice questions, and it's something that I really want to just finish off now. So I want to make sure that all the practice questions have been updated, and also want to make sure that there's video solutions for each of them. And just one thing to notice, that if you are looking at one with blue writing on the front, that'll be an old booklet, and if it's been updated, or when it is updated, it'll turn green in terms of the text on the front. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be working on in the near future. I'm going to be finishing off those practice questions updates. So that's something I'll be working on. As well as that, I'm going to be working on some other projects. Now, I don't really want to go into all of the details today. I'll probably save that for another video. But things such as adding on video tutorials for A-level maths, adding on and completing the video resources for GCSE further maths. Those are some of the things that I want to work on. Perhaps video solutions for the 5 a days, things like that. So there's going to be lots of new resources I'm going to be adding to the website. I just wanted to update you with some of the resources I've added over the last 10 months. And again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for using the website. Thank you for using it for your students. Thank you if you've bought any of the resources and supported the website as well. So I just want to say thank you very much and all the best. Cheers. Bye.